quirk lovers and cursed energy haters, welcome into another video. Today we're gonna be doing a death battle. I'm so excited, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so excited for this one. All right, now listen, as much as I am a Jujutsu Kaisen lover, trust me, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. All right, I get a lot of people hate the ending. I personally don't hate it that much. I'm okay with it. It made sense to me in some aspect. Yes, there was a lot to, have. Putting that aside, right? That aside, we're moving it to the right, right? We're shoving it, moving it, right? I just gotta say, there's no way Mahito should be winning this. Realistically speaking, I don't see how Mahito could do enough damage to Shigaraki. I am not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say, I genuinely do not see how Mahito does enough damage to Shigaraki. I'm just gonna say that, okay? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be true to that fact. Only the domain expansion could hurt him, but that's hurt. I don't think a domain expansion can kill him. I'm not gonna lie, alright? I am not gonna lie. This is gonna be a tough battle for sure. I just don't think Mahito has it in him to win. I am not gonna lie. Because if we're gonna be doing both characters at their height of their power, Shigaraki has so much higher ceiling damage and resistance potential than whatever Shigaraki here has to offer. That being said, Death Battle is known for pulling bullshit out their ass. So, I think that maybe they have a chance if the cards if the cards align correctly, but you cannot silence me. But honestly speaking, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's gonna be for sure just Shigaraki. I'm gonna go with Shigaraki. That's my pick. I don't see why he would lose. So yeah, that being said, let's get right into it. I expect nothing less but a Shigaraki win. Okay, let's see. I'm excited.
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
All right.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet,
I was starting with him
boy
first.
who
Okay.
loved superheroes.
Until it's
But
corrupted.
sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flight or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family. Well, except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the streets alone, silent.
Yeah, that's quite a origin story, guy. Murder. I mean, the rest of the family kind of sucked, because the mom. Remember, right? The mom just hugged him, right, and said he'll be fine or something like that. That one's a little tragic. I'm not gonna lie. But the dad one, okay, all right. That I see what you're doing there. That was intentional. You okay? Yeah, I'm doing fine, chat. All right, thank you for asking. All right, and there. All right. Anyways. It just sucks that the person that found them was, evil, considering who, I think it was his aunt, right? That was, the hero?
Begging for someone, anyone, to help him.
Yeah.
If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found
Yep.
belonged to the devil.
All for what?
Grandma.
The greatest
It was grandma.
supervillain in
Okay.
history.
He took Tenko under his wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains,
Gotta be the perfect.
destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah?
Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy. Pretty menacing, if not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but
Yeah,
God,
kind of
it looks so
dorky, I
dumb
won't
and
lie.
fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands. From
Oh.
his family that he killed. attached to his face, and explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Oh,
Okay.
I
His
not
use
brushed
of
the
decay started off relatively weak.
Oh
It
my
rapidly
god,
increased
that is horrible. That is horrible. I know some lore, but I don't know much lore. I only watched up to like season 4, and then I've only seen some like videos explaining some stuff. That's it. That's all I know about my hero. I know very much relatively nothing. So that was news to me. Yikes.
power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something he's decaying also decays.
Spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
If decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
There he is.
After years of training,
I
with
do
the
remember
body part
him.
is
Dr. Douche Smirks got built. I remember this guy. It's Dr. Douche Smirks. I remember all the memes about the Dr. Douche Smirk glow up I saw because of this guy. I'm not gonna lie. Not him. I do remember.
disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with the greatest supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the #1 hero, All Might.
Yep.
Only to fall flat on his face.
Yeah.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well,
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the
Yep.
kind of guy who would say normie in real life in front of normies.
but they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors of their master's
Yes.
blood feud,
Bro,
would push themselves
I'm not
past
gonna
the-
kid. I'm not gonna lie. All Might was such a fucking good. It was good, so good. It was so hype. I still remember the season 3 fight with him and All For One, and oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. Say what you can say about My Hero Academia and their fandom. Their fights are so good, so inspirational sometimes, and their music. You heard this once before. Go beyond plus ultra. How can you not like it, bro? With the fucking you say run. Oh my god, it's just. Listen, man. All right, you can say what you say, but sometimes you feel it, and this is sometimes the series where sometimes you just feel it.
their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All For One double kill
Yes,
each other, leaving
yes.
Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains
Next
all by
time,
himself.
it's your
And with the
turn.
stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front. Thousands of new
Paranormal
soldiers for his
Liberation.
personal army.
What a
All to
goofy ass
impress All
name.
For One's personal quack, Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation
Okay.
vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's absurd power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached
I remember this
2,000
movie.
miles into
This
the
movie was
sky.
great.
We've calculated that before to be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT, almost as much as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to
Okay.
survive stars.
All right. This fight was such a sellout. Okay. This fight was such a sellout. Given any other context, if Shigaraki was just merely confident in himself and who he is, then he would have lost against her. Okay, this fight was such a fucking sellout. I am still pissed off about it to this day. Okay, we move on. I don't want to be stuck here for too long.
Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a blast so big it showed up against the curvature of the Earth.
Though he might seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became? Oh shit, more hands!
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence, seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All for One, so what better way than the old man's quirk?
All for One's quirk, All for One,
All for
allows
One,
us to use it
yeah.
to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All for One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its
So
user's
they're turning
essence
into,
in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this
turning
kinda
into an
psychic
Eldritch
world in
anomaly or
Shigaraki's body.
anomaly.
They can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
Yeah.
With those vestiges came quirks like super fast healing, air blast, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others, and the ability to track foes.
He can even combine multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped.
Yeah, there it is.
Shigaraki also got All for One's vestige. That means All for One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tenko's grandmother.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
mess with All
I
Might.
remember
That
that.
is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for One's
Well,
possession wasn't complete, and
how about
Shiggy
that?
managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Yeah.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone.
Yeah.
His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All for One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
God damn! That little key almost made me cry. Holy shit! Absolute cinema. That was actually beautiful. Holy shit! Wait a second. Hold up. Let me compose myself. What the hell? That was deep. Oh my god. That was sad. Yeah, he got all he wanted. A hero to save him. That's cool. That's great. Holy hold up. I need a Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Give me a goddamn second. Damn. That was deep. That was great. It was amazing. Holy shit. That's some great writing right there. God damn. That's some great writing. Wow. Fuck. And then we have Mahito over here, a guy who's evil just because he's evil. Motherfucker. Mahito's just an asshole, and he's literally is actually fundamentally evil. Just because that's how that works. He's the hatred of all humanity's hatred made into an entity, basically, right? If I remember right, how curses work and manifest, right? They're like all the bad energy. What a contrast. Alright, I think
This
I'm
battle
good.
is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Okay, alright.
With Robin Hood Gold, you can now enjoy.
We're gonna skip that.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood,
Right.
man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
Uh-huh.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
Yeah, there it
All
is.
that negative emotion humans felt for one
Shabuya.
another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle.
Well,
Yep.
then you'd have
There
the
we have-
special grade curse with the patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many Mahitos.
Mahito
Yeah, no,
is
this guy
one of
is,
the deadliest beings to
uh,
ever afflict mankind.
is definitely one of the
He's
worst.
no mere mortal, though, but a cursed spirit.
Yep.
Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger, depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak. Or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger. Or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being
he's not that
composed
powerful.
of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way
Actually, he's a
stronger,
special
faster,
grade,
and
huh?
tougher
Never
than
mind.
any normal human,
I
and it's
remember
invisible,
forget that.
making curses like
Forgot about
Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
It
Yeah.
also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex. That's why you need a Jujutsu sorcerer to
Yeah,
come in and
there
Kaisen
it
the
is.
shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers
It literally
have
is
battled
beat the
each
shit
other
out
for
of them.
millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity. Almost exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito was special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals, but Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak
Yeah.
havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than
Really?
intelligence and bloodlust.
I thought he was just a
Mahito
lackey.
possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will
Well,
to power.
And the end of the day, they all the disaster curses got used by my boy fuck, what's his name? What's his name? It's Gojo and fuck. I forgot his name. It's got a Yuta. What's his name? What's your name? What's his name? I can't remember his name. Oh my god, how can I forget his name? Guy that Yuta. How did I forget his name? How? He's like top 5 in the verse. Fuck, I'm stuck. Google it. No. I gotta remember this. All right, long hair. Gojo's best friend. Is racist towards humans. Yeah, thank you. I'll remember if you hit me in the head a little bit more. Fuck, I can't remember. I'll probably remember ahead of time. We're going on.
Dog eat dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter? Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions
Yeah.
like a cartoon character before slitting your throat.
Yeah,
An
I remember
appropriate
that.
analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants. Like
Big-ass
Play-Doh. He can
shapeshifter.
turn his limbs into blades or clubs,
Big
grow
problem.
wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are
That's a
fatal.
human
And
sword.
since he's attacking your soul, those physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch. God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans
Yeah.
as effectively disposable dolls that
I
he can
mean,
gleefully experiment on.
I don't
The more
see why not he
casualties,
doesn't.
The better, especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you
Yeah,
suffer.
there it is.
Even more twisted
God,
is when he combines
not my
two
boy Yuji
transfigured
going
humans
through it.
together for soul multiplicity. Essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Ugh.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By
Yeah.
applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require
Yeah,
reflexes
the
moving nearly
zone.
1,000 times
With the
speed of
picture.
sound.
Everybody in
It's
this
no
picture is at
surprise, then, that
100%
Mahito also unlocked
capacity.
The pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain
Expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection.
Yeah.
The ultimate expression of Mahito's
Kinda
absolute
useless against
control
certain
over his
enemies.
victim's body and
Like
soul.
Yuji.
The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a
Sukuna.
barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him,
The king of curses, Sukuna.
which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that.
Yeah, he's a
No
pathetic
surprise, and kicked Mahito's
slice.
ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's got the strength to do it. Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in
He
the
ain't
world.
winning.
And his
He ain't
growth
winning.
is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse Jogo was able to summon a massive meteor capable of
He
reducing
ain't
the
winning,
city
bro.
of Shibuya to ash.
It is
Kinetic
gassing
energy
this
of
guy
over
up.
800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give, especially when
Yeah,
he throws
but
a
it's
struggle
still not as
against
good
Yuji.
as,
He evolved, unlocking
what's,
a
Lady-
vastly more powerful form.
Lady
The
America? I
instant
forgot her
body
name.
of
I'm sorry, I forgot her
killer.
name, but
Complete
they're not as
with
strong as
armored
that.
exoskeleton and arm blades. This was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In
Nope.
a bitter battle of resolve,
There it
Yuji
is.
won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now
Where
a
are
bigger
you
wolf.
go,
So
I
he tucked tail
go.
and ran away like a bitch. And what do you
What do you
know?
see,
Life
I
suddenly
see.
became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
All that gleeful
There he
nihilism
is. I
just
forgot his
a bitter
name.
hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees. Hey, do you see that join button? Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to being a
Get,
All right, the
put the joint in the bag. I gotta see this death battle.
combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Ooh, look at this anim. Oh, this is cool. Okay. They're going with this style. We're rooting for Shigaraki. Let's be honest, we're rooting against Mahito. You're absolutely right, chat. We're literally voting against Mahito.
I'd heard of a
You don't deserve
powerful
anything.
stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring them your head instead?
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition.
Ooh, let's go. No moves. Damn. Ah, come on. I want this to be good. It better be a good one. Let's see how this works. Damn, double headshot. Double homicide. Plus, oh, okay.
Game over.
Being able to generate flesh should definitely help. That's not killing him. This looks great, by the way.
Could you actually just say that? God, how lame.
They did the kiss for the anime. Come on, Shigaraki. Well, we know Shigaraki's winning. Let's see how much of a fight. Let's see how much of a fight. Let's see how much he could take. See what you got, Mahito. Okay. Damn, got back Black Flash. That's not gonna do much though. Not gonna do much at all though. Already? His form's got limitations though. Damn. Yeah, no.
All you got?
Shigaraki could do a lot more.
Domain expansion.
Oh, already? Oh, come on. I feel like the all for one persona is gonna probably counter this inside him.
You're just a scared little boy whose daddy was mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Yeah, there it is. Straight up the Sakuna pose too.
My masterpiece.
Yep. Okay. All right. Like that. He's cooked. He's cooked, Jet. He's cooked. Absolute cooked.
I felt your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way.
Oh, he's running. I was gonna wonder if he's gonna run.
And for a reason.
Yep. There you go. It's over. He's so cooked. Yep. Absolute cinema.
Whiz like a bitch.
With their complex power sets, this match was a puzzle to figure out.
Not
Which
really.
is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories.
It's
Physical
not really.
stats,
He was just
survivability,
meant to
and their
lose.
powers.
But first,
This was
let's
a
address
one-sided
one thing.
slaughter.
Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Surge quirk, Shigaraki would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was
Ghetto. Ghetto was the guy I was talking about. Oh my god, I don't know why I forgot about Ghetto's name. Ghetto. What's his name? Ghetto? Shit, did I say that right? I don't know how I forgot that character.
Stop it. Get some
Wait,
help.
I'm trying to remember the name. I'm pretty sure it's Ghetto. Oh, work. No! No, I'm talking about the character. The character for the one that can manipulate, like, you know, the soul, not souls, the one that can manipulate. I mean, technically, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean, right? Right? And didn't we also call him like I don't know. Maybe I was off. Okay, maybe. I think that's his name. Geto. Yeah, I think that's his name.
Incalculably millions of times stronger.
He was faster too, considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster.
Yeah.
Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out.
Right.
Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idle transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki
Okay.
had a lot more variety with
Yeah,
all of the
extremely
crazy quirks
more
all for one
variety.
collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idle transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges.
Right,
In fact,
I guess.
He was able to
Yes, it is.
damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real
Oh,
world.
damn.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers that couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
Honestly,
Next time on Death
before we do that, honestly, yeah, seems about right. Nobody, I'm not surprised. I'm glad this went this way. This is great. Good death battle, proper winner. You know, he's just good shit. Who do you have next time, though? Doom. That's it.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more.
No, that's bullshit. Ain't no way Master Chief is winning against Doomslayer. This is worse. A coughing baby versus atomic bomber. What the fuck is this? No. What is this? It's bullshit. Chat, you guys seen this shit? This is not fair. Nah, you gotta tell me how this is fair. This is not fair in any way. My brother, fucking Doomslayer is immortal, basically. He's a god killer. Master Chief is a strong soldier, and he can take out armies and stuff, and he's great, and he's luck on his side, but like, I don't think luck is gonna help you against the Doomslayer. Realistically, I don't think so. I'm just gonna be honest. And if you really like that content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you really want to see me live, I do stream on Twitch, so check me out there, crazies. Bye bye.